Hey everybody, Pastor Vern here for the daily update for July 28th, 29th, 2020, getting almost to the end of July. Um, Been a weird summer, hasn't it? But then again, um, people are resilient and they continue on and they try to make things as palatable as possible. I also think that this is opening the eyes of a lot of folks about their faith journeys. At least I hope it is. And there may be some time down the road here in just a little bit where some very significant ministry can go on by both pastors and lay people to help some folks work on their own spiritual identities. And I tell you, and today we're talking about Jeremiah, his book. Jeremiah was a prophet who made a lot of those attempts. He was a very young man when God called him. He was healthy, strong, and he spent the better part of his entire adult life trying to convince people that God needed to be respected and revered and feared. And he struggled with that, and he even predicted some of the things that happened after his death, the captivity of Jerusalem, the captivity that lasted like 70 years. Uh, but all that was rejected by people who were backsliding in their relationship with God. They didn't want to hear it. Things were too good or too bad or somewhere in between that, God was something that we'll take care of when we've got time. We'll worry about God when things get tough. We'll worry about God when things get better. We'll worry about God, whatever there might be. There's at least 13 instances of backsliding in Jeremiah, and it's a tragic book in many ways. During 40 years of ministry, he really converts no one, uh, but he warns them. One of the things that's unique about the book of Jeremiah is he tells more about himself, more autobiographical than maybe any of the other prophets. And I think he tells us a lot by himself to show that he had struggles also, that it wasn't easy to be a prophet. If you read the books of the prophets in the Old Testament, very few of them were, when God called them, were jumping up and down saying, "Pick me, pick me." It's a tough thing to have to tell people God's message when they don't want to hear it, and that's what the prophets were called to do. Uh, Many think that besides the book of Psalms, that maybe it's the most spiritual book in the Bible because of the struggles that Jeremiah shares with us of not only the Hebrew people and his frustration in trying to tell them they need to change their ways, but his personal struggles, the things that had kept him in a scenario where the world was a difficult place for him every day, and that he had received this commission, this command to be a prophet for God, but yet his voice was going widely unheeded. Um, it's broke into about three different categories, or maybe four, depending on how you want to view the end of the book. It's call and commission. How God called him, brought him into the fold as a prophet. His faithful ministry, and that's the majority of the book. That's most of the 50 plus chapters in the book of Jeremiah. Um, the end is kind of the captivity of Judea, which he was predicting that was going to happen. And if you really want to maybe stretch it a little bit farther, he talks about the pre-decay of the nation of Hebrews in his time period, how they were starting to uh, disintegrate as a people. Uh, even as God called him to warn them and try to put them in the right direction. Sound familiar to anything you maybe be hearing today? That as the nation crumbled around him, they rejected God's call even more? I'll let you decide on that one. Um, so take good care of yourselves. Watch out for others the best you can. Stay safe. We'll see you again.